This is a replay. On your birthday, you have to win. So I admire the mascot, was it Jackson DeVille?
Yeah.
Who knocked Snyderman out so that Southpaw could win the race on his birthday? That's selfless.
Meanwhile, Scampy and Ozzy are just going to bring up the rear. I don't want to break any news on the FanDuel Sports Network, Scott, but there's a rumor going around that Ozzy, the mascot at the University of North Florida, might be getting a makeover potentially.
Really?
Yeah. We want to promote healthy eating. We want to promote the great athletics at the University of North Florida, where I am also an employee. So I don't want to break too much news, but I don't know how I feel about it. I enjoy the shuffling Ozzy, the chubby, lovable Osprey.
So he's really gonna go through a major workout routine.
Yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting him on some sort of fitness and nutrition plan, which I trust the crew over there, but I'm still a little upset. I enjoy chubby Ozzy.
Consider that we'll stop there. I don't want to get you in trouble, but you are in the know. I did not know that, as Camp Alderman in his first AAA plate appearance is down 1-2. Very interesting going on. How about Billy the Marlin making the trip up from South Florida
Yeah, that's
today?
a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good friend coming all the way up. Do we think he swam here, or do we think he took a bus or a plane?
Yeah,
or?
I think it's got to be the swimming, right up the Atlantic Ocean. Great
The
view.
St. Johns River does flow north, so maybe he somehow gets to Orlando and then
then he can kind of
comes up the tributaries.
the lazy river. It's better than navigating through that kind of traffic on the
Great crowd.
95. Yeah,
Great crowd for Sunday, August 31st.
It's pretty cool. Honey Drippers weekend. It's busy here. It's 2-2 on Alderman. The Honey Dripper, for those who do not know, it is a Jacksonville staple. If you're like both of us, Mia and I, we both moved here. You kind of discover that in the heat of the summer. There are Honey Dripper trucks, like ice cream trucks. And they're very colorful, as the jersey would suggest. Alderman fouls it first base side.
Alderman showing off that power that we were told he showcased at Pensacola, AA. High hit, high strikeout ratio, high risk, high reward.
He had 15 home runs with AA Pensacola. It's very close to a career high in 19 in college. I mean, I guess you can consider it the 15 in the pros. He strikes out here, though. Lara gets him with a slider. 1 out in the second inning.
The best way we can describe the Honey Dripper is that it is a cross between an Italian ice
I like that.
and ice cream. It's a cross between the two. It's definitely an icy, a little thicker condensation, though.
Yeah, it's really delicious, very fruity.
Thicker consistency, not condensation.
Here's the pitch, and it's a breaking ball low. You get a look at this. Jumbo Shrimp need Camp
Yeah,
Alderman.
not sweet like a Honey Dripper.
Yeah, this is a sour Honey Dripper. 5-12, but they've only been outscored by 9 runs in that span. A lot of close games. They've just been on the short end of the stick, like last night. Jumbo Shrimp, of those 12 losses, 8 have come by 3 runs or fewer during this stretch. So it's not like, I think some of the fans will bring things up to me when I get to see them before the game, and they're into it, right? Like, they're very, very good fans. You talked about the crowds we've had this weekend, and they ask about this stretch, and this is really the first sustained streak like this all season long, which is August 31st. It's pretty darn good, and it doesn't happen like that until now. But I think it would be more concerning if you're losing every game 8-1, 9-1, and they're really not.
No. And again, this is an outfit that includes Johnny Olmstead, who's at the dish right now and just drew a walk, who 2/3 of the position players currently on the 40-man roster for the Jumbo Shrimp have played somewhere in the range of 5 games to 35 games at this level. Again, among the position players on the club's active roster, only 4 have played in more than half of the 128 games.
Yes, it's remarkable.
And it's even less because, half of 128 is about 65. You go right down this lineup. Shane Sosowski was called up at the beginning of August. Jack Winkler called up in the month of August, correct me if I'm, or no.
Sent down, yep.
Sent down, then came back. Of course, Bennett Hostetler, who's at the dish right now, battled injuries in the first half of the season.
Yeah.
That's what's limited his availability.
Yeah, in this starting 9 today, only Maximo Acosta, Jacob Berry, and Davies and De Los Santos have played in half of the games or more. Everybody else is way below that. It's 26 or fewer. Fouled back by Hostetler.
Hostetler was the hero the last time we joined you here on the FanDuel Sports Network for the Miami Marlins, as he had the walk-off in the Sunday finale matinee against the Norfolk Tides 2 weeks ago today.
He's a very cool story. He's from Bozeman, Montana. The only scholarship offer he got, as Laura checks on Olmsted, was to North Dakota State. That was it. And Hostetler ended up having this extraordinary career there. He is pretty much all over the record books at North Dakota State for both career and single season marks, but it's 2-2 now from Laura. It is first in NDSU history in games played, games started, walks, hit by pitches, sacrifice flies. He's third in runs scored and hits. He's got the single season record for games played and assists. I mean, he did it all there.
Summit League Player of the Year back in 2021. He was 21st nationally, batted .394 his final campaign.
We mentioned that he's not necessarily naturally a catcher. He was like your classic little kid who would play everywhere. In 6th grade, they said, "You are the best player on the field. You are our shortstop." And that's how he became an infielder. But he took to catching later on, again, to get more time on the field, doing anything he could to play. So he was really at third base in the beginning after getting drafted by the Marlins. And when he got to Beloit, they told him, "Hey, we're thinking about making you a catcher," and he really embraced that. Not everybody does that. Runner goes outside, throw into center field. That's the third steal of the day. Olmsted heads to third, so that's 3 steals. And we've only had 7 batters this game. And there's a runner 90 feet away with 1 out. 268 stolen bases this year for Jacksonville, the most in franchise history by nearly 100. And it is 9th most in minor league baseball. But I think that doesn't tell you the whole story context-wise. Infield is in, by the way, right now for Rochester. Hostetler fouls it back. Of the top 26 teams in stolen bases in the minor leagues, only 2 of them are in AA or AAA. The other ones are all in A-ball, where it's way easier to steal. It's Jacksonville in 9th, and it's Nashville in 10th.
And for even further context, Jacksonville was 23rd in AAA, 21st, 29th in stolen bases over the last 3 seasons. David Carpenter, the first-year manager, has brought a new identity to Jacksonville.
This one gets by Mejia, and that will allow Olmsted to score. So without putting the ball in play, Jacksonville scores a run almost perfectly what they want to do on the base pass, just pushing the envelope, and they take a 2-1 lead.
And letting the opposition make the mistakes. No self-inflicted wounds here, just smart base running, being agile and being adaptable.
It's a heck of a plate appearance by Bennett Hostetler.
And that's also an area of growth for Bennett. Has only played in 26 games coming into today.
Sasaki fouls it.
And that patience at the plate was something we noted the last time we joined you here on the television broadcast, especially in that final at-bat in the bottom of the 9th against the Tides. You really saw Bennett unafraid with a runner in scoring position to work the count. I don't know if you're saying that a month earlier.
I think with him, he's just playing so much more. Sasaki, this is a tough play for Laura, who has to use his bare hand, and he's way late to first. And so how about that? A run in already, 3 base runners, and that ball went roughly 35 feet or so from Shane Sasaki.
And Sasaki keeps up his hot hitting against Laura. He had an RBI against him on Thursday. 0 for 3 last night here at ViStar Ballpark, so good to see Shane get back on the base paths.
And so that is 3 consecutive base runners. And Rafael Chavez, the pitching coach, wandering out to the mound to talk it over with Andrew Lara, who it has been an issue this year, and it has reared its head. He walks a lot of guys. He's walked 3 in an inning and a third. He does not hold the running game well. Jacksonville has 3 steals in an inning and a third. They have the 2 hits as well, and so Lara's got a great arm, but his game needs a ton of refining. He is still just 22 years old.
Yeah, the slider's his go-to, and that's predominantly been what he's tried to use. His splitter is actually his most effective pitch. Batter's batting just 200 against Lara when he throws the splitter. He's only thrown it once so far this inning as he continues to work around trouble.
So the top of the order, Maximo Acosta, who made his major league debut a couple weeks ago. Congratulations to Maximo. He's hit 3 home runs in the major leagues now. And takes strike 1. He was ready to buy a house in Texas last year. He was a Texas Rangers farmhand. He said about 3 days away from closing on a house in the Dallas-Fort Worth area because he thought he was going to be there, and the Rangers traded him as part of the package for Jake Berger.
Batted .288 with Double-A Frisco last year, 23 doubles, 8 home runs, and has surpassed most of those numbers here at the Triple-A level with Jacksonville.
He's had a really nice season. I was talking with Rachel Balkovic, the farm director for the Marlins, when we were in Nashville in the beginning of the month, and she brought up unprompted, man, I am so excited about Maximo. He has made this adjustment that has allowed him to put the barrel on the ball significantly more. This one is barreled up into left center field. Franklin, though, runs it down, 2 outs. So Acosta hit it pretty well. And here's Matthew Etzel. It's a nice play in the outfield. This is a good defensive team for Rochester, but they are very excited about the work he's put in during the season. Again, just 22 years old.
That was a really well-hit ball by Acosta. Just to set the scene for you all, again, it rained here for about an hour and a half. Pretty steady rain. Not too heavy, although at times it was. And Scott, while the clouds have re-entered the picture frame here in Jacksonville and the sun is trying to make its way through, the air is still kind of thick.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if that ball hit by Maximo Acosta, it did hang up there a little bit more than maybe it otherwise typically would have.
And you can see at the bottom of your screen there that the wind is blowing in. I thought he hit that ball much better than it looked like he did.
Yeah, it definitely gave Franklin an advantage to make his way to left center field.
More cotton candy in the sky, and it's 1-1 on Matthew Etzel. This is kind of a big spot, I think, early on in this game. Jacksonville during this stretch, in particular in this series, and the previous week against Worcester, they've had so many guys on base, and they've had to settle for an inning with a run, 0 runs. It has not been a thing where they've been able to put runs in bunches up against Rochester, which, as you mentioned earlier, they are one of the teams that struggles most preventing runs. It's 3-1 here on Matthew Etzel. They've allowed the 5th most in AAA. Just feels like a big spot to try to get a little bit more than a 1-run lead. It's 3-2.
Etzel, just 23 years old, originally drafted by the Baltimore Orioles. We have a young friend named Noah joining us in the booth tonight, and he is a big fan of the Orioles. Etzel, part of that great minor league farm system.
Too many good players. They got to give them away. And here's ball 4. So that loads them up. And Jacob Berry, one of the hottest hitters in the lineup, is going to face a different pitcher because Matt LeCroy is walking out to the mound. And for Lara, it's just another kind of underwhelming performance for him as a right-hander is getting ready. That is Jason Acosta, who's coming in. So a pitching change here. Bases loaded, 2 out. Jacksonville has a run in. They have the lead, and they're looking for more on the FanDuel Sports Network. We talked about this earlier. Jacob Berry has been so good. Those are the numbers coming off the injured list. Big spot here. You would love this hot hitting to continue with the bases loaded, 2 outs. A 2-1 Jacksonville lead in the bottom of the second.
4 straight multi-hit games for the 24-year-old out of Queen Creek, Arizona. He already has a hit here tonight. Love to see Jacob Berry fresh off of the injured list, mind you. He only returned August 21st, 10 days ago. Has absolutely been raking, gotten that batting average Scott back up to 247, and he finds himself in a pretty big spot here, only in the bottom of the second inning at VyStar Ballpark.
He will face a new hurler, Dason Acosta. Jacksonville has seen a couple of times this week against the Red Wings, so Berry, big spot against the new reliever, who throws ball 1.
The Shrimp chasing Andre Lara after an inning and 2/3, allowed 2 runs off 2 hits, 4 walks. That perhaps is the biggest problem right now with Lara's command of the strike zone. The fact that he walked 4 guys in less than 2 innings pitched. Did have 2 Ks in 11 batters faced.
It's 1-1, and you saw the numbers for Acosta. I mean, walks have been a major issue for him as well. He's allowing more than 2 base runners an inning. It's hard to survive like that. The average is around 1.3. He's at more than 2.
Was pretty successful-ish Friday night in an inning pitched against these same Jumbo Shrimp, Scott. No runs allowed, struck out all 3 batters, well, 3 of the 4 batters he faced, because yes, he did walk a guy too. Couldn't help himself.
11 and 12 in 2/3 innings. So you don't need to swing the bat. Jacob Berry is such a patient hitter. He does swing there, and he fouls it. Lipscomb runs out of room. It's 1-2.
It's funny because Matthew Etzel on first is like itching to go. I mean, he's leaning off like he's almost halfway to second. And so that, to your point, if I'm Jacob Berry in this spot, if I'm manager David Carpenter, I'm telling Berry, make him throw strikes. I'm not trying to get the base runners already on the move thinking that we're putting the ball in play.
This is a tough play. Falling for a hit. 2 runs are in. Hostetler and Sasaki, and Berry comes through with a 2-run single. It's a 3-run second for Jacksonville.
Don't listen to me, Jacob Berry. Listen to your manager. Be aggressive. Nice little poke into short left center field. Again, that same area of the ballpark that Maximo Acosta hit it into earlier this inning, Scott. That ball held in the air a little bit too much and allowed for Christian Franklin to get underneath it. Not so much on this Berry hit, as he was able to drop it right into the Bermuda Triangle between the 3 defenders.
So now it's De Los Santos, who fouls it down the third baseline.
And David Carpenter was signaling that that was a fair ball, and I thought so as well, to be honest. It definitely took 1 bounce right along that left field line.
Hey, he advocates, he does what the manager should do. He constantly is advocating for his guys. No matter what, that belief that he has in his players is really remarkable. I think it's a feeling that is shared throughout the coaching staff. De Los Santos, though, fouls out. It's a pretty good inning, though, for Jacksonville. They get 3 runs. They knock Lara from the game. They do lead 2, and they have their biggest lead so far of the series against Rochester. This is the 6th game. Jacob Berry's off to a huge start already. A multi-hit game, his 5th in a row. Listen, it's a dying quail. It doesn't matter. It's not fishing. You're not going to throw the little ones back. It's 4-1, Jacksonville through 2.